Hi, I'm Vic.
And I'm DJ.
And this is Adventures with Vic and DJ. Welcome back. The last time we saw you, we were just getting ready to go on our adventure to Prague, Czech Republic. And we are back. We just wanted to share with you 3 things each that we found to be surprising. So DJ, what was the first thing that you found surprising about Prague?
I'm going to get right into it. I think its cost was probably my biggest surprise. The price of food and other things, drinks, basically were U.S. prices other than beer. Beer was cheap. In fact, at restaurants, beer was cheaper than water. So
they really say that. They say beer is cheaper than water, and it was true.
Yeah, there were some cheap things. Transportation was relatively inexpensive, and it was really convenient. The one ticket for the day, or we got a 3-day pass, will get you through the train, bus, and trams. So that's really nice. And then our Airbnb, we felt like that was pretty reasonably priced for what we had, especially with that $1 million view for only $180 a night. So
absolutely.
What's your biggest surprise, or number one?
So the thing for myself was the sheer amount of people. You know, we talked about that, and we had learned and watched other YouTubers and different things like that, and saw videos of that the prices in the Czech Republic were a lot more affordable. So by 9-10 in the morning, be prepared for the Charles Bridge to be full of people. You know, I think we kind of went at a time that was it's always a busy season, but I think for the most part, we got there at a good time. DJ and I are early risers, so we did get a couple of opportunities to be almost solely alone on some of the beautiful areas, going to the Charles Bridge, going to the castle, going to some of the cathedrals and different things like that. We definitely had opportunities for us to be the only person there to get some unobstructed views. And then in the afternoon, walking shoulder to shoulder across the Charles Bridge with hundreds, thousands of people as well.
Being from Iowa, I would definitely compare it to the Iowa State Fair. If you've ever been there at a very busy day, it felt like a record-breaking day at the Iowa State Fair every day there. So, my second big surprise was the number of people smoking. In the U.S., it seems to be on the decline. In fact, back in the day, we were both smokers. You more recreationally, me like a chimney. I was able to kick the habit, and I'm glad. Like I said, there's a big decline here, but over there, that only seems to be on the rise. So,
absolutely, there was, recreational marijuana was legal there as well. So you did have opportunities for people to be walking around and having pens, the vape pens and cigarettes, and you go by a CBD shop as well here and there. But yeah, smoking was definitely something that we saw a lot of that we were not used to seeing from the United States. The other thing that I was very surprised about, where we stayed, was the old town from like the 1300s. And when you think of Prague, I didn't think it was going to be as big as it was. I mean, there's about 1.2 million people that live in Prague, the town or the city or metropolitan area of Prague, and it is divided into a bunch of different districts. We visited about 8 of those districts, I think, and it was bigger than I thought it would be. Mm-hmm. So lots of history too. I was not prepared for the sheer amount of history. Every turn we went, every building we went into had a story that was hundreds of years old. So
no, the history was awesome. And my third one, gonna get a little risque here, was definitely the amount of nudity. More so in the art. There wasn't people walking around naked, but definitely in the art, almost every statue. It's just something that here we've really started to cover up, and it's just different. Not good, bad, or otherwise. I don't have much of an opinion. It doesn't bother me either way. So it's just something that you really start to notice when you're from the States. Like maybe it's a little bit of culture shock, I guess.
Yeah, I think even some of the we went to a museum that had a lot of risque stuff, multiple museums actually. There's an artist there, David, and he had a whole floor of private parts in different, and it was on display of different things, big ones, small ones, all sizes and shapes of male and female genitalia, and that was just something that we weren't really thinking would be here in the United States. That would kind of be frowned upon, and there it was out for the world to see, and not bad. I mean, like DJ said, the statues and everything, the artwork.
Well, we went to that other cave house or whatever it was with an artist, and like the artist has turned his home into a studio.
Yeah.
And a lot of his were of mermaids and stuff, and they were all exposed to breast or whatever. So, I mean, it was just something that we didn't expect to see. We were fine with it, whatever it is, what it is. It's their culture, and we're not there to change them. It's just, it's definitely noticeable as an American.
Absolutely. So. I think the other part too that kind of goes with that nudity and that difference was the fashion. In American culture or even the Midwest, athleisure wear is becoming very popular. So women are wearing their workout clothes out in everyday life. There, I packed a lot of, I would say, leggings for myself and more comfortable athleisure wear clothes that I'm used to wearing here in the United States, and I was the only person wearing them. I think we saw maybe one or two people, but otherwise, definitely that 90s fashion coming back, some of the jeans and the different styles. You had a lot of Asian culture that was there, a lot of different influence, the European influences as well. I was just really kind of taken aback by the fashion. For us, t-shirts, jeans and a t-shirt, or yoga pants and a t-shirt, or athleisure wear is what we're wearing. There, most people were dressed very nice, even for like a weekend. Saw a lot of dresses, a lot of skirts. And I just think here in the United States, we're seeing less of that. So that was definitely something that was kind of a surprise to me.
Yeah, it definitely kind of felt like, which I've never been, but it felt like kind of like a Nashville vibe. On the weekends, there's a lot of bachelor and bachelorette parties, so you would see those girls were dressed up and I mean, there are bars and clubs there, so, but yeah.
Absolutely. And I think too, some of the things that we thought of overall, there were a lot of videos that we watched of just kind of talking about the Prague culture is not very friendly, or that they don't want you to be there. I really found the people who lived in Prague that were at the restaurants, different things like that, they were very nice. I think they were very direct. What do you want? Like, if you changed your mind a little bit, I think that probably would have gotten frustrated with you, but overall, I definitely think that they were very nice, and it was a fun place to be. So, anyways, thank you for watching.
Yeah, thank you.